heaven. Spread your wings and fly. Feet up off the ground. Give it one more try. Time to be free. Time to be free. Time to fly. Free. Fly free. Flying so free. Flying so free. Free to touch the sky. Heart is in my mouth and I can't think of a better way. My heart is in my mouth and I can't think of a better way to spend the day than with you here today. There is light right around us.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Irish Furian. I am the Irish Furian, and glad to welcome you all here this evening. And this one is kind of an obvious one, and it's also one that has escaped relevance in the particular thinking and background of what I often talk about on this channel. And one of the things that gets leveled at people who wish to keep their nation, and their country, the country, is racists. As we say, all these particular races start coming in. Guess what? There seems to be an upsurge in racism, simply because we were, when I was growing up, one group, one homogenous, ethnically homogenous group, and now that is not the case. So now you have new and different dynamics at work. You also have forces driving wedges between different races and ethnicities when you have different race and ethnicities thrown into one homogenous group. So anytime you stand up for saying that you want to keep your country for your people, you get called a racist. Or if you want to keep your culture and your history and your heritage for your own people within the location, geographical location, you get called a racist. And this is a word which has become weaponized and laden with negative meaning, like so many other words that have become politically incorrect over the last 20, 30 years. So right now I just want to show you something really simple, which seems to have been missed out an awful lot by people, people who, now what I'm doing here is I'm just preparing the window for you guys to have a look at this. So if I just go to this, you'll see that now I've got very little charge left on my phone. I'm using that as, oh no, I'm actually, no, that's fine, it's grand. I thought I was streaming. I'm not, I'm recording because my bit rate is incredibly low where I am at the moment. It's not like where I was before, where I could use the bit rate to live stream and it held up. That's not working right now. So anyway, if you do, we say the first use of the word racist, I'm just going to say, are you seeing what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you were seeing that there, that should be okay. All right. So, you can put that in, and the very first one you get is this one here, the ugly and fascinating history of the word racism. And of course it's by an African-American or a dark-skinned man called Gene Demby. But don't get me wrong, I'm not sure anymore about these narratives, whether they're real or not. I think that oftentimes they're constructs created to fill in a gap, to satiate the human psyche, but we'll take it at face value and we'll pretend it's real. So Richard Henry Pratt was the first person the Oxford English Dictionary records using the word racism in a speech decrying it, but his own legacy on race is checkered. So you can see the page here. If you put in code switch NPR I think it is .org sections code switch and racism maybe, or you can see like from here, if you put in the first use of word racist, you'll find this is the first in the search engine. He's where is he? By a man named Richard Henry Pratt, 1902. Pratt was railing against the evils of racial segregation, segregating any class, and they'll always hide the truth in sweet wording. So segregating any class or race of people apart from the rest of the people kills the progress of the segregated people or makes their growth very slow. Association of race and classes is necessary to destroy racism and classism. Now, we'll just take it as this. Although Pratt might have been the first person to inveigh against racism and its deleterious effects by name, he is much better remembered for a very different coinage. Kill the Indian, save the man. So, a great general has said that the only good Indian is a dead one, Pratt said. In a sense, I agree with the sentiment, but only in this, that all the Indian there is in the race should be dead. I'm reading that wrong, maybe. Kill the Indian and save the man. We're still living with the after effects of what Pratt thought and did. His story serves as a useful parallel for why discussions of racism remain so deeply contentious even now. But let's back up a bit. Beginning in the 1880s, a group of well-heeled white men. Now, this is where I already start to see difficulties here because, like, human beings are not colors. Okay? It's like when they say people of color. You know, they're not people of color, they're brown. And different shades of brown. They're not colorful. They're not orange, green, purple. They're just brown. And that's the trick. And it's the same thing with calling, we say, Northern Europeans, European people, white. I'm not white. I'm Irish. Okay? And see, there's no power. There's absolutely no power in color. That's why the casino, and I call it the casino because we played by the rules of the casino. You can never win. And that's why when they give you, if you take the casino's terms, black and white, you can't win. You're basically now under the control and playing the rules of the casino and will always lose. Lose in deference to the casino. So there is strength in family. There is strength in man and woman. There is strength in children from that unity. There is strength in community. There is strength in multiple families who know each other, work together, and support each other. That's true strength. So when they come along and they say you're not entitled to your history, heritage, or culture, you're a color, you got to watch out for that. So I'll go back to this here, and it says, we'll use their term just in the reading. A group of well-heeled white men would travel to upstate New York each year to attend the Lake Mohonk Conference of the Friend of the Indian. Their primary focus was a solution to the Indian problem, the need for the government to deal with the Native American groups living in lands that had been forcibly seized from them. The Plains Wars had decimated the Native American population, but they were coming to an end. There was a general feeling among these men and other US leaders that the remaining Native Americans would be wiped out within a generation or two, destroyed by disease and starvation. Well, there's answers to those things as well, so I'm not seeing this as viable, really. The Lake Mohawk attendees wanted to stop that from happening, and they pressed lawmakers to change the government's policies towards Indians. Pratt, in particular, was a staunch advocate of folding Native Americans into white life. White life. Who's white? You know, I mean, I'm Irish. Like, there's Germans, there's Polish, there's French. There isn't white. You know, it's ridiculous. Assimilation through education. He persuaded Congress to let him test out his ideas, and they gave him an abandoned military post in Carlisle. He's also convinced many Native Americans, including some tribes, to send their children far away from home and leave them in his charge. Very interesting. So, Grace Chalier, so they saw the handwriting on the wall. They knew their children were going to need to be educated in ways of the dominant culture, or they weren't going to survive. For many natives, so okay, so you can read that yourself. You see it there. I may provide the link in the description of this video. So oftentimes, like when I'd be battling paid trolls on platforms like Facebook, and if somebody calls me that word racist, what I would do is I would refer to the very first use of the term racist, which was by this guy, General Pratt of the US Army during the Indian Wars. And I would say how basically all of the military, the US military, wanted to segregate the Indians from the dominant culture. But Pratt, on the other, actually wanted to assimilate the Indians into the dominant culture, and to get and to make them their culture. So basically, any of the Indians that wouldn't assimilate, who wanted to hold on to their identity, who wanted to hold on to their way of dressing, their way of talking, their language, their history, their identity, he would term as racists. And basically, at that time, the word was not laden with a negative connotation. It was just a racist. You know, it was, you wanted your race to survive. Pratt saw that they wouldn't survive according to this narrative as presented here. Whether it's true or not, we can't say, because we weren't there. And as always, history is written by the victor. So how that spun may be another story. But anyway, that's basically the basis of this video, is to talk about this particular character which is presented. And if you put his name into the Google machine, like we say, racist General Pratt. There you go. Look, there's it's all over. First use of racism came from founder of Carlisle boarding school, reconsidering Richard Henry Pratt. Wikipedia, Richard Henry Pratt. The real racist news at the Mohawk conference held by the members of the Friends of the Indian movement. Of course, you know, I mean, in order to enact an agenda, the most powerful and successful agendas are succeeded by, shall we say, rubbing people up the right way, you know? And when you meet a person head on, you'll get two losers, usually. Unless, of course, there's massive numbers on one side, or massive strength on one side. But there'll always be damage taken anyway. But the way the farmers of men work is they know human psychology, and they know that you have to smooth the situation right in order for the people following on from that point in time to accept what happened. They have to make it right in the minds of those people. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. It's a short enough video. I just wanted to talk to you about, let me see, I forget his name right, Richard Henry Pratt, isn't it? Yeah, Richard Henry Pratt. Okay, so take care, and see you soon.
Time to be free. Time to fly. Free. Fly free. Flying so free. Flying so free. Free to touch the sky.